Hey, we're back! And now looking at my destruction. Coffee versus MacBook. No, doesn't work. Let's see if we can revive this old laptop. Shall we? During this video, I will attempt to revive our beloved early 2011 MacBook Pro 13 inches after catastrophically got damaged by my full coffee mug. Ouch! First, I will dismantle everything to get to the logic board. Clean it, refresh the CPU with new thermal paste. We will skip the GPU or graphics card since it uses thermal pads, which I do not have at this moment, and I'm trying to keep this project at $0 as possible. I already have thermal paste from previous projects. Here I'm dismantling everything from the computer, specifically all the peripherals, the connections, the ribbons, which are the worst as you can see, and putting tape to all the small ribbons so they can get unstuck from the base of the MacBook once I reinstall the logic board after the project is complete. I already took the opportunity to remove the battery, the RAM, and the SSD. As you see, I'm start removing all the screws from the logic board in order to finish the procedure. I'm so sorry, I apologize for me keeping in between the camera and the movement to do the whole process sometimes. It's been going on, I only have one camera. I'm trying to keep aside, as you see, the project as zero as possible. As you can see, the process takes a little bit because of the fact that there's several screws, several peripherals, and the ribbons also give me some hard time. But at the same time, it's something that you can do at home yourself. This will give us opportunity also, as I said before, to replace the thermal paste. all tech in the community stated that you should replace the thermal paste at least every 1 to 2 years in order to keep low temperatures on your computer. This applied not only to Mac computers but also to PCs as well. This is a very important part of the process for cleanup and keep your computers up to date and make sure that they last as longer as you need, and keep obviously your keeping from spending more on a new technology while you have technology that may last for a longer time. As you can see, I'm still trying to remove the logic board, which is still attached through the microphone on the back, and that's the other part that I'm gonna remove in order to keep that logic board aside. Also, with the logic board comes down the MagSafe connector, which I will also clean up because it usually gains a lot of gunk on the sides of the connections due to the magnets in between. As you can see in the video, once you remove the logic board out of the sockets, you still need to remove the line in from the microphone that is still attached to the logic board. So it's very important to make sure to not detach it completely. Sorry about the black space again, because I'm still in the middle of the camera. Was trying to get a secondary camera, but hopefully we'll get multiple camera angles in future videos for your consideration. As you see, the logic board is already out. Oof, it takes a little longer than expected. As you can see, I removed the laptop itself and leave alone the logic board. We're going to the process of remove or put aside the speaker in order to remove the heatsink, which, as you can see, it was kind of cake, and now what I did is just remove all the gunk using Q-tips and isopropyl alcohol at 91%, so we can clean as much as possible, especially the sides, which still has some gunk from the older thermal paste. I already installed previously thermal paste in the past when I first got the computer. These computers usually get it second-handed from pawn shops, which is a very good option aside of going to locations like eBay or other places where you cannot see the computer in the flesh. That's what I'm trying to avoid in the future. As you can see, I'm cleaning up the heatsink part. The logic board itself has no dust, which I thank a lot, because my area, even though it's clean, is kind of dusty, but we try our best in order to avoid any issues. Now I'm going to the CPU. As I told you before, we're not gonna touch the GPU because I don't have thermal pads, but I'm trying to clean that as much as possible and remove all that gunk so we can put brand new thermal paste. The thermal paste that I have is very simple. I get it at locations like Best Buy or other places right now. Is I believe it's from Crucial, but you can get any branded thermal paste. Like for example, Amazon has very good deals on very good quality thermal paste, which hopefully I will get in the future for future projects, including my next project, which will be my iMac 21 inches from mid 2011, which is where I am doing all the recording and the editing of this video. Once I put aside the speaker, I didn't disconnect it completely, since it will be easier just to reconnect it again, on the fact that I didn't bother to complete the process with the graphics card. In this case, we apologize, but I was returning some messages from my wife at the time while I was completing the process. Here we are showing the preparation to put some thermal paste to the CPU. It's just a bit, and again, I apologize if you see just a bit. There's no need to complete the budget with a lot, so it's very important not to overdo it, because that will create issues at the moment of the installation, and it will go over the area that is needed to maintain temperatures. Now we're putting everything back together, starting by the screws that have some hinges in order to keep motion between the CPU and the heatsink. And now everything is completed in regards to what we needed to do. And now we're gonna put everything together 2 hours later. Now, if you see, we put everything together, including the ribbons. But I have to say, those ribbons were put by my son on the fact that they were too small for me to complete it. So he helped me out to put those ribbons back together. They're pretty small, and not even my 4 eyes would help me out. Okay. I also took the opportunity to remove the trackpad and clean the sides. And now we're gonna complete the process to put everything back together. The hard drive, SSD. We have a 480 gigabytes hard drive in this computer. And the battery. And once that's done, last thing is to put the screws that handle the battery. I was using my toolkit. Hopefully in the future we're gonna have sponsorship for the tools that we need to continue this journey into technology, into repairs and upgrades to existing and some vintage computers that still can have some life, and putting aside of the landfills. We need to do this more often, since more and more companies, including Apple, Microsoft and other companies, are doing most possible to for us to continue the repair process and make us pay more for newer technology that cannot be fixed unless you pay an enormous amount of money to these companies to repair for us. Once I complete the process, last but not least will be the 2 sticks of RAM. These are DDR3 RAM, and it's 2 4GB sticks, so it makes it 8 gigs. I am planning in the future to put 16 gigs of memory, and now we are ready to restart the computer, and there you go. As you can see, turn on. We leave it as that. Next step is gonna check if this charger continues working. Okay, so we're gonna check now. If it doesn't break or doesn't short, as I suspected, we have not. So look at the fact that we did the right thing to remove it before anything bad happens. Let's see if that is working or not. We rest assured that if something happens, then we may have to replace it. So the only thing that's left behind right now is just checking that. Just continue as is and checking two things. One that works, and second if the light also works. Alright, it's turning orange, so that means it's charging. Checking. Yep, it is charging. So there you go. Our machine is back to life. Thank God. Give me a couple more years of working. Okay, let's continue on the thought of what just happened today. This MacBook Pro from 2011 looks awesome, still usable today. I'm glad that you have been with me in this journey. We'll continue in the next one. Remember, if you like or dislike, comment, subscribe, and share. Remember, this is MacFan. Until next time, bye-bye.